everyone, happy conference week. We are so glad that you're joining us for this video. We have lots of great things happening in the school counseling program here at Pete, and we just wanted to share a little bit about it.
All right, so you guys, moving to our next slide. We just want to give a quick shout out to our advisory team, those of you that are receiving this communication and providing us with great feedback this school year. We just appreciate all of you that said yes to being a part of this team. We value your feedback, and you're going to be able to have an opportunity later in this to give us your feedback. So thanks for being here with us and supporting. Table of contents. Okay, guys, so this is briefly what we're going to be covering in this communication. Just different things that we're starting out the year with. Obviously excited to have Megan join our team, but just so you know, this is kind of our purpose for our fall advisory team.
All right, so I've met most of you already, but again, I'm Megan Bowden. I'm the new school counselor here at Pete. So this is my 4th year as a school counselor. I spent the last 3 years in an elementary school, and I'm super excited to join the world of junior high. I am also really excited about some of the initiatives that I am joining in on this year, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but I'm super passionate about our Gender and Sexuality Alliance Student Council. I'm helping out with BSU, our Black Student Union. So lots of great things happening, and I'm just excited to be on the team.
Yay! Welcome, Megan. Boo.
All right, so like I said, we have lots of things going on this year. So a little bit about it, we have spent quite a few days in the classrooms already this year in 7th grade exploratories. We got to join the health class in Mr. Carter's room. We're also going to be in our 9th grade US history classes this week, which we are really excited about, talking a little bit about college and career readiness. And we also are really involved in different Tiger Times here. So Becky leads lead during Tiger Time, and I have jumped into Black Student Union and Gender Sexuality Alliance. And then we also have a GSA leadership team that meets every other week. And last but not least, I'm helping out with student council this year, and we have a lot of really great ideas. The students have a lot of really great ideas. They really want to focus on hearing students' voices this year and bringing some fun back into the school now that some things are opening back up. So lots of good things to come.
Yeah, already this week, Spooky Sock Day. So obviously you can't see our spooky socks, but thank you, Student Council, for initiating fun this week. Yeah, very spooky. So kind of like Megan was saying, some of these initiatives at a glance, we're just excited for the student groups that we've been able to kick off this year. So excited to have Megan leading BSU, GSA, Student Council, and excited to see what some of these student groups could turn into as we progress through the year, but also just how we're getting into the classroom. We really appreciate our 7th grade exploratory teachers, Will Carter, and also history, allowing us to use class time. So it's been fun that already at the end of this week, we'll be in every single grade level before we even hit November. So we're really excited about that and really hitting the ground running with kind of creating new curriculum and a new purpose as to why we're going into these classrooms. Why are we doing these lessons? So it's really fun that Megan and I have been able to start at ground zero and build up as to why do we want to go into the classroom? How is it purposeful? How is it meeting student standards? And so these are just some of the fun things we wanted to share with you guys that we've done so far. And with that, some of the classroom data that we want to share out so far, I think one of the important roles as school counselors for us is to be able to also advocate for what we're doing in the school that's having impact. And I think a great way to do that is obviously through data. And so when we went into 7th grade exploratories a couple of weeks ago, we've been talking about online safety. We also talked about sexting, harassment, essentially making positive digital decisions that hopefully also translate to making positive decisions in the real world. And so some of the questions, we had 6 questions in a pretest, same 6 questions in a post-test, and just measured hopefully growth in our time, 3 days in there actually. And we're able to kind of co-teach one of those days with our school resource officer, Officer Reimers. And so essentially as school counselors, what we're trying to measure growth in for anything that we're doing to have impact is that we're trying to measure growth in attitude of relief, skills, and knowledge. And so as we create pre and post-test questions, we are trying to really hone in on the language being around one of those 3, attitude, skills, knowledge, but also trying to hit our mindset and behavior standards for student success. So we have 36 mindset and behavior standards for school counseling. So obviously we are trying to hit 2 to 3 realistically for each lesson or initiative that we're doing. And so you guys will see here for the first two, I know how to de-escalate digital trauma in positive ways. You guys can see that at the bottom, I do a percentage, we kind of do a percentage calculator to see that increase. And so we're able to see that from pre to post, we had a 35.8% increase in skill, but then it also was our behavior self-management skill standard responsibility for self and actions. You can see that with question 3 that we had. This one probably had the biggest amount of change, which is really great to see with 56.1% increase in knowledge. But then again, you'll see that behavior standard afterwards dealing with personal safety that we're tying that to. Looking at the next slide, you can see that our students already started out really feeling confident that they understood the process of making good decisions. But thankfully, we're able to still see growth in that, but also tied to our behavior learning strategy of critical thinking to make informed decisions. And then you can see lastly here, identifying ways to respond to something or someone that makes them feel uncomfortable online. We are able to see some growth in that knowledge and also our behavior standard and social skills with advocacy skills for self and others and ability to assert themselves when necessary. So I just wanted to share some results with you, and in our spring advisory team communication, we'll be sharing more data with you as we are in the classrooms this year and able to collect more, but we just wanted to share out what we had so far that we thought was a really positive impact while we were in 7th grade classrooms. Quickly to kind of go over our mission and vision, I feel like it's important for any organization, any program or team to kind of share mission and vision. And this is something that those of you that have been a part of the advisory team in the past have seen. But this is something that with Megan joining that we just kind of revisited and just felt like, is this still us? Is this still our program and kind of the backbone? That's why we do what we do each day. And so you guys will see with the mission, I'm not going to read it as you guys can pause and read it. But essentially our mission statement is one that we came up with as a K-12 counseling team. Obviously, for it to be a really good mission statement, students need to be the focus of that. We also feel like it's important to have priorities and equity and access and success for students. And so I feel like good mission statements are kind of covering those things, but that is what we came up with as a K-12 team. And then for vision, the cool thing with a vision, as you guys read that, you'll kind of be like, yep, that's in an ideal, perfect world. That is what our students would be, right? So the cool thing about a vision statement, at least in the world of school counseling, is that you dream big and you think about, man, if we came across our students and met them 5, 10, 15 years down the road, what character qualities, what would we want them to exemplify as an ideal result of their pre-K through 12 experience? That's kind of the cool thing about being able to think big about if they were able to take in everything that we would want to instill in them, even as a school counseling program, what would that look like and sound like? And so that's really cool, where I feel like the vision statement at least encapsulates those character traits and what we would hope every student would learn as a result of their academic and social emotional part of going to Cedar Falls schools. And so you guys can read that there.
All right, so as a school counseling program, we find it extremely important to have goals because we need to know what we're shooting for. So this year we have 2 main goals that we're going for. So with attendance and behavior. So obviously we don't have all of our baseline data yet, but as you can see with the first goal with attendance, we'll have that at the end of the semester. And then our second goal has to do with life skills. So we're taking our life skills assessment in about a month. So anyway, with attendance, our goal is that by June 1st, 2022, students with 9 or more absences at the end of the first semester will reduce the number of cumulative absences by 20%. And then looking at behavior, our goal is about the respect part of our life skills. So by April 20th, 2022, using the baseline data that we'll get here in about a month, we'll decrease the number of cumulative minuses for respect. And again, we don't have the data yet, but you'll hear more about that in the spring when we know the actual numbers.
Yes. All right. So you guys, just recently I was finishing up Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, and it happens to be on a chapter about feedback and being able to keep organizations engaged with certain type of feedback. And I just felt like, wow, that really translated to the feedback that we're asking from you all, but then just as we collaborate with each of you in different ways, because you have various roles as a stakeholder to our building and our students, you provide great insight and perspective that we need to continue to be well-rounded and make decisions and move forward in positive ways. And so I loved her leadership manifesto, that part of it is, this is kind of what she said, what we ask is that you engage with us, show up beside us, and learn with us. Feedback is a function of respect. When you don't have honest conversations with us about our strengths and our opportunities for growth, we question our contributions, right? So as school counselors, we want to have a stake in our students' success, our culture, being resources for you all stakeholders. But above all else, we ask that you show up, let yourself be seen, and be courageous, dare greatly with us. So we just kind of loved the idea of how your feedback could be, in a sense, so honest that it's daring greatly with us. So this is essentially the link here to get your feedback. It's very simple in the sense that it won't take long because it is only 6 questions. So you guys will see here, we're just asking for you to continually tell us, how we can best communicate things like this in today's video. Agenda items of being able to talk to you about. Do you still prefer the video presentation? And since you are a stakeholder, how you envision an effective school counseling program, what common misconceptions are, how we could better promote the positives and initiatives, best support your role as a stakeholder, and lastly, just how you feel like the implementation for our new SEL curriculum, Character Strong, is going. And obviously, if you're not working here in this building, it might be a little hard to answer, and therefore you can leave that blank. But obviously, for those of you stakeholders that are working here at Butte, we would love to get your feedback with that. All right, so that is it. This is the conclusion of our first advisory team communication. We just want to say that we are thankful for you guys.
So thankful, so grateful. And one of the big reasons why I wanted to join the Cedar Falls School District is because I knew what an amazing team there was here and all of the great people to collaborate with. So we truly are grateful that you took some time out of your day to join this team, watch this video, and give us some feedback.
Thanks.
Thankful for you.